Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. Please excuse the voice. This is the first time I've been able to talk in about 3 days. That's why I haven't been on. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am editing this between coughing fits. That's how it's going. There goes another coughing fit. I'm going to try to do the best I can and push through this here. A landmark case of sorts came out yesterday for the Second Amendment, and actually it's a win. And this happened in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a law. It's Section 302 of Pennsylvania's Mental Health and Procedures Act, or the MHPA. And basically that says if you've had any type of mental disability, then you can be stripped of your Second Amendment rights. And they're going after this clause, the federal clause. It's Title 18 U.S.C. Section 922, Paragraph G4, which states, "It shall be unlawful for any person who has been adjudicated as a mental defective or who has been committed to a mental institution to ship, transport in interstate or foreign commerce, or possess in or affecting commerce any firearm or ammunition, or to receive any firearm or ammunition which has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce." This is the federal prohibited person statute for firearms. And Pennsylvania had been using this, what we're about to talk about, to ban people from getting their Second Amendment rights. Oh, there's another one. Sorry, guys and gals, bear with me. This sucks. So Section 302 of the MHPA in Pennsylvania permits a physician to involuntarily commit somebody in the absence of any form of due process, which means the individual was not provided an attorney, there's no way to appeal it, can't confront or present witnesses, all that stuff that, you're supposed to have whenever some of your rights are looking to be taken away, whether it's by the state or by the feds. So as a result of a single isolated 302 commitment, the ATF took the position that Mr. Franklin, who was the basis of this lawsuit, was federally prohibited from possessing and purchasing firearms and ammunition. They made him a prohibited person because he had been a victim of this involuntarily committed mental health statute. Oh, I'm dying here. As a result, he brought a federal case, challenging whether this 302 commitment in Pennsylvania was sufficient enough to trigger a prohibition under Section 922 G4, which is what I just read. And if so, he argued that it would be unconstitutional to deny him in perpetuity his Second Amendment rights. And the attorney that he used has been successful a couple times in similar style cases. So Judge Gibson was the judge who was presiding over this case, and the quote here is pretty cool from the judge. In reviewing whether Mr. Franklin was adjudicated as a mental defective, the judge found that procedures provided for by Section 302 of the MHPA, Pennsylvania law, and that were applied to Mr. Franklin, scarcely constitute an adjudication. The plain meaning of adjudicated connotes the involvement of a judicial decision maker, the resolution of a dispute after consideration of argument by the parties involved, and a deliberative proceeding with some form of due process. Notably, courts, boards, and commissions all function in a neutral judicial or quasi-judicial role, therein greatly differing from the ex parte, non-judicial procedures and non-judicial actors provided for by Section 302 of the MHPA. That means what you did wasn't being adjudicated because he didn't have the rights, he didn't go in front of a judge, didn't have the rights afforded under due process, blah, 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 blah. The judge continues, thus, because Mr. Franklin was not adjudicated as mentally defective by a court, board, or commission, Section 922 G4, the federal law, does not provide for a restriction of Mr. Franklin's ability to own a firearm based on determination by one of these three adjudicators. Interpreting Section 922 such that individual physicians or other non-neutral actors have lawful authority to hopefully strip a person of their ability to possess a firearm in perpetuity, which means forever, based on a non-adversarial ex parte decision, would raise serious constitutional concerns with the statute, which requires a court to avoid, if possible. The judge also continued this smackdown. Believe me, I know this is a lot of legal jargon, but this is a big win. By its own terms and effects, Section 302 of the MHPA, the Pennsylvania law, does not provide for a commitment to a mental institution as defined by the federal standards. Nor did Mr. Franklin undergo a commitment to a mental institution for the purposes of Section 922. So this is saying you guys made this all up, you did this on your own, you can't use this to bar him, blah, 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 blah. But what this judge did was came out in a federal decision yesterday, the 21st of December, 2017, and said if you are involuntarily committed, you were not given due process. You can't use that. The government can't use that against you to prohibit you under the prohibited person laws and deny you your Second Amendment. So this is a big win for people who had been held under that loophole. Now this is for Pennsylvania, but this is a federal binding decision. If you are one of those people who were involuntarily committed mentally for whatever reason, and you weren't given due process, you should contact a lawyer right now and discuss your legal options. And you can reference this case that came down yesterday. That's about all I'm going to get out of this voice box today. You can hear it cracking and breaking. I've been coughing the whole time. I just want to say thank you to everyone for your support throughout this year. Have a happy holiday season. Whatever you happen to celebrate in my family, it's Merry Christmas. And I don't mind saying it. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is that your family partakes in. I hope you make it a memorable one. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and take lots of vitamin C. Take care, everybody.